We began in the United States, where tensions are brewing in Washington after President Donald Trump deployed the National Guard to tackle rising crime in the city. And the latest protests against the National Guard's presence intensified, with dozens gathering on Sunday night as federal agents were seen searching residents. Protests banged spoons and pots and chanted, "Get out of our neighborhood and quit your job," booing and jeering officials as they walked down streets carrying boxes.
Get out of our neighborhood! Get out of our neighborhood! Cowards! 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 Cowards!
More than 2,200 troops have been deployed to the nation's capital, with many of these troops coming from Republican-led states, including West Virginia, South Carolina, Ohio, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Tennessee. A statement by the Joint Task Force of D.C. confirmed that troops are only authorized to use force as a last result and solely against an imminent threat of death or serious bodily harm. This came after Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's recent authorization for troops to be armed. The exact number of armed troops, however, are unknown, but reports suggest they may carry pistols and rifles. Meanwhile, on Sunday, President Trump took to his social media platform, Truth Social, and suggested the possibility of deploying more troops to Democratic-run Baltimore and Maryland, calling the city crime-ridden, even though we're seeing crime at historic lows in the neighboring city.
Governor Wes Moore of Maryland is asked, in a rather nasty and provocative tone, that I walk the streets of Maryland with him. I assume he is talking about out of control, crime-ridden Baltimore? As president, I would much prefer that he clean up this crime disaster before I go there for a walk. Wes Moore's record on crime is a very bad one, unless he fudges his figures on crime like many of the other blue states are doing. But if Wes Moore needs help, like Gavin Newsom did in LA, I will send in the troops, which is being done in nearby D.C.
Now, Trump has repeatedly characterized some of the nation's largest Democratic-run cities, often with black mayors and majority-minority populations, as dangerous and filthy, even though we continue to see many Republican cities actually leading the charge on crime. Maryland's Governor Wes Moore, however, strongly criticized Donald Trump's suggestion of deploying troops in the state. In an interview on Sunday, Moore said that he has been keeping Maryland safe without the National Guard, noting that the homicide rate has dropped by more than 20% since he took office. On his social media platform X, he said deploying the National Guard for municipal policing purposes is not sustainable, scalable, constitutional, or even respectful. The governor also mocked the president, claiming he was trying to distract from the Epstein files.
President Bone Spurs will do anything to get out of walking, even if that means spouting off more lies about the progress we're making on public safety in Maryland. Hey Donald, we can get you a golf cart if that makes things easier. Just let my team know.
Trump has also announced his intention to deploy National Guard to other cities, including Chicago as well as New York.
Ready, we'll go in and we'll straighten out Chicago, just like we did D.C. Chicago is very dangerous, great place. I built great stuff there. I have the most beautiful building in Chicago, I think. But I hate to see what's happened to Chicago. Chicago is our greatest city, actually.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker and Chicago's Mayor Brandon Johnson are pushing back, strongly rejecting the proposal of sending deployed troops into the city and state. Reports indicate Chicago recorded 573 homicides in 2024, 8% lower than the year before. And in Washington, D.C., data shows a significant drop in violent crimes between 2023 and 2024, though that was coming off a post-pandemic surge. Yet thousands of National Guard and federal law enforcement officers remain on the city's streets, prompting sporadic protests from residents. So with troops patrolling the Capitol and the president continuing to threaten action in other Democratic cities, the debate over public safety, crime, and federal intervention shows no signs of abating.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
$36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktoren,
Hindi,
$30 trillion का कर्ज है.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese, Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select the language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.